Wow.
It's a grin and a half.
Those are amazing.
You right?
Yes.
Yes.
Certainly caps look lovely as well, don't they? Mint, aren't they? They are nice rims. That's a, I don't know how much that is there. $1 million car over here. That's why we mess around with old shit boxes. Because the alternative is to spend $1 million on a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a Porsche. They're like 20-30 million baht. So that's, yeah, $600,000 to $900,000. Ridiculous. Lucky man. Oh, well, we were on the way to go and get the interior. But I think we're going to stop going to get the interior because it's raining. Abandoned. Going on outside. What do we reckon? Squinting it's mint? It's the best paint job, isn't it? It's a brilliant paint job. Mint, mate. Yeah? Everybody's talking about it. How many of you today? 6. Where's number 7? Is that what you're trying to do? Trying to find number 7? Morning. Right. Had a good sleep last night. Went to bed a little bit earlier. Woke up a bit early, about 5ish. Lots of messages. Lots and lots of messages on yesterday's video, or the last 2 days' videos. Took me a bit of a while to get those sorted, get those answered, but good to have them. I'm just going out now because I've got to try and work out now the best way of doing things. I've got a body kit to prime and paint. I've got bumper and boot to paint, to do a final sand and paint. I've also got to fabricate some stuff. I've got to do a support beam for the radiator, and my welder was really playing up the other day. I think it's out of gas. It's still gas coming through, but I just don't think the pressure's there, and the welder just didn't like it at all. I managed to muddle through on the gearbox mounts, but yeah, it was really playing up. So I'll go out, get some gas. I'll also go to one of the nut and bolt shops, see if they've got this tube here, which is for the sunroof drain, which we need to get in there, because over the next day or two we'll assemble the sunroof and get that run into the door pillars. And I've got lots of parts coming in. I've got parts at 2 post offices. I've got a UPS or DHL shipment coming in. I've just paid the tax on that. Doesn't look like it's going to get inspected this time. And these are wheel bearings and bushes, and the big bushes that go on the rear beam. So the plan is, with the mechanics that are coming over tomorrow night, is that we get everything ready. We've got the trailing arm bushes, we've got the wheel bearings, the drive shafts are built. Austin, put the pictures up of the drive shaft now. We've got those built and ready. So in actual fact, tomorrow evening we can put the rear beam up, and then we can measure how long we need to make the prop shaft and get that done, because that's going to take 2 or 3 days, and I'm going to have to outsource that, obviously. I've got wheel bearings there on the way in as later on, so I've just paid the tax on. So maybe whether or not they turn up today or tomorrow, I'm really not sure. But again, it's all in his plan to start bolting bits of suspension up in there. Austin was cleaning the side windows last night, so again they can all be put in. Got a bit of an issue because the lads are away next week on a school trip, residential trip. So got to get as much out of them as I can on what today, Thursday evening, Friday evening, and then full day Saturday and Sunday. So get as much done with them as I can. So anyway, get moving, go and get this gas, and I guess, I don't know, I haven't decided when I'm going to paint the bonnet and boot today, because obviously once I paint them I can't go in the room, or I can't go in the room for 2 or 3 hours because of the chance of kicking dust up and it coming down on them. But I still have to sand them, so I better really get back to get them sanded and then take it from there. See you in a bit. Well, as I'm out and about, I've got my gas, I've got my tube. The tube isn't quite right, it's a different colour, who cares? And it's actually a little bit larger, but I think what I can do is use the lengths of the old tube to fit onto the sunroof, and then put this tube over that, and it'll do the job. So now I'm just going, now I'm out, I thought I'd go and get the interior. It's definitely not going to rain just yet, so if I can go and get that and get it home and get it into storage. As the great Francis Rossi says, here we are and here at it. Here we go. Here we go. Well, they look clean. Clean air anyway. Right, so I'm going to get that sanded and then the boot sanded, and then at least it's ready for paint. And what I might do, I still haven't decided, I might then just move on to working the fiberglass and getting these in primer. Yeah, I might ask Paint Man, because it's going to have to be sanded after primer, what the time is between painting primer and sanding primer. I'm not sure about that. Might be next day thing. So definitely need to get them in primer today. Well, that means paint them tomorrow, and we'll have to be able to move them because we've got a work party tomorrow night. Tick tock, thinking. I shall find that answer. So I sent a bloke down to the post office to pick up the stuff from Germany, and he's just called me and they're ripping us off the tax as usual. The DHL is just about to turn up, and they've got my stuff from Burton. So that's the front wheel bearings and the trailing arm bushes that we were missing from Germany. Happy days. So when did they order these? Tuesday? Nah, Monday? Monday or Tuesday? They're here. That's brilliant. So if there's anything I need next week, but they're going to be my people. Right, this is important stuff. We've got the, I don't know what you call these, the bushes that go on the rear subframe. We've got wheel cylinders and yeah, bearings and some pushes and some springs and some oil, fuel tank seals. So yeah, well needed stuff there. So I've just 240'd that off, and that's been 180'd and 240 depending, because there's quite a lot more profile on there, and it's a rougher, less even surface on it as well. It's not as nice a moulding. It's nice, it's good, but not as nice as that. And this has got a texture on it. This has obviously been copied from like a standard Sierra bumper, which had a grain texture on it, not a painted one. But I'm sure that texture will soon disappear with some primer and paint on it. So I'll leave that to dry now and then come and wash it and panel prep it and try and get some primer on it. Hope the weather, it just tried to rain, it stopped again, so I hope it stays dry, and I'll paint these outside with primer. I reckon these are just about ready for paint now. I've hung the strobe lights on the roof so I can have a good old boogie while while I paint. There we go. Wicked. Sorry about that. I don't know what all that's about. LED lights and GoPros don't work, and that fan's going to be far too noisy. Anyway, let's keep this short because basically we've put a plastic car cover onto the car. I'm going to wash detergent type stuff and then panel wipe and paint these. A little bit nervous about the open door there, and if I know for a fact that if I pull the curtain down we will end up having the wind come in and it will blow onto the paintwork. Oh, I could have swapped them around. No, that doesn't work either. I can probably move that desk. Anything's on your concerns. I can move that desk here. There's another 1.5 feet there. I can move this all towards away from the door a bit more. Cheers. Wittering on. Alright, I nearly forgot to mask them off. So a bit of masking, stop the I'm not masking, blocking off the whole of the underside, but that's going to skirt around it. So is that. Maybe I get some overspray, we'll see. Don't know. But that's washed as well now, both of those are washed. I just want to get the scales out, and the buttons are stuck with the hardener I dripped yesterday. So I'm going to pull that apart and hopefully I can fix it. Otherwise it's out with a measuring stick. Right then, I think it's outro time. Trouble is, I've got this strobe thing going on again, which means I have to turn those lights off. If I turn the lights off, you won't be able to see the full glossy deal, but anyway, they haven't turned out too bad at all. Perhaps difficult to see. Well, it's difficult for me to see through this viewfinder, but yeah, falling over things now. Alright, so there's the bonnets done. It's good, so these can rest overnight now, and I can handle them in the morning, put them in the office, and then I can prime. If I prime the bumpers, spoiler and skirts early in the morning, or as early as possible, give them, depending on the weather, 2-3 hours to set up, and then sand them, and then paint them in the afternoon. I've got to give them I've got to be really careful. They want apparently 2 hours before dust won't stick to them. I've got my mate Ern coming in the evening, but he probably won't be here until 7 or 8, because he'll finish at his garage and bring his lads over. And the idea is they took today the rear beam. They're going to put the bushes in there. They also took the hubs, front and rear hubs. They've got a hydraulic press, so they're going to press in the bearings. So he's got the drive shaft that's done. I think you may have seen a picture earlier of that, but Austin may stick it up again. So he's got the drive shaft, he's got the bushes for the beam. Got down here the rear arms, and I've got everything laid out on here as well. I've had a little bit of a clean up in his office, believe it or not, because I'm aware that tomorrow I've got to try and put panels in here. So I wasn't very successful because there's still no room to put panels, but I'll try and fix that tomorrow. Maybe the boot lid can go on the table there and the bonnet can stand up, or maybe you can go outside on a trestle. But coming together. I just realised that these rear hub adapters things that go on the rear, on the drive shaft there, they've been re-drilled to Billy as well. So I'm going to have to pull the flanges, I call them. Going to have to pull those flanges off of the spare Sierra and use those, but that shouldn't be too difficult. I reckon I'll put some spray on there now actually. Put some spray on there now and then we can rattle off the nuts and then chop them over. I don't believe that'll cause any trouble. Anyway, we'll find out. Okay, well that's it today. Another reasonably productive day. We have down here the sunroof frame. Austin's just cleaned, and we've just done a little bit of, I don't know if you remember that I had this in the acid to remove all the rust. I didn't bother filling it with the kitty hair, so it's still actually got rust holes in it, but there's no rust. I could do that later if we need to. Let's just get it in there, get it working, get it sealed up, and anything we want to do later. I mean, he's going to be looking up there at the inside of the sunroof frame. It's not really how I like to do things, but it's just something we haven't done yet. So I could do it later. I could just take it out, scuff it up, fill it with kitty hair, and then profile it all, and then it's fixed. Or maybe further down the road we can get a decent sunroof from somewhere, rather than having to use this bodged up one. So that'll do for now. Thank you for all your comments yesterday. Were amazing. You know, the reaction. I did a couple of reels as well on the painting, on the walk round. A couple of shorts and a couple of reels on Facebook, and they were really popular as well. So it looks like people like the shiny stuff. So I can do a couple more walk rounds and a couple of more of those when we start building the thing up as well and get the masking off, because as you probably see, it is covered in a big car cover, because I ain't risking getting any overspray on it. But there's your parting shot for the evening. Thanks for your likes, subscribes and your comments. See you tomorrow.